Check, 1 2, check. Attempt number 2. Yup. Check. In today's news, oh shit, I'm gonna just try. I just went and tried it all over again. I tried streaming earlier, but I fucked something up. So attempt number 2. Anyways, yes, welcome back to the Real Vibes podcast. Today, we're doing a follow-up episode on the last. I did a Berkeley local, kind of like homelessness crisis podcast. And then I went to a protest, and I did a video about the protest that I went to, which is kind of crazy. If you haven't watched it, roll back to my previous video, and you can watch that that whole thing and kind of learn about what happened. We'll cover a little bit of it here, but not too much. But all kinds of shit has been happening, and so I thought, hey, fuck it. Before these links start growing in number, because I just keep downloading shit, before it gets out of control, it'd be a good idea to get in here and get these out of the way. Plus, I got more projects coming up, so and I'm kind of done with the whole local politricks stuff. I'd like to move on from it, and do funnier podcasts on other subjects. But yes, let's switch fully into news mode. Let's go. Oh, shit. Yes. So, let's start with Oakland.
The future of Oakland could hinge on how public safety is addressed. A new economic report is highlighting the economic challenges facing Oakland and offering a warning about what needs to happen to ensure the city's future success. NBC Bay Area's Valina Jones explains.
Oakland is at a critical juncture. That's according to a nearly 80-page economic indicators report released by the Oakland Chamber of Commerce today. The report highlights just how big a role public safety plays in the town's future.
Hey, I got a new soundboard, so let me know if I'm playing too much with the sounds. But I got this fucking hilarious. I still gotta map it to my MIDI keyboard to get it to work properly, but let me know if I get annoying.
Success.
And what our residents want, which is really investing in public safety to increase their confidence, as well as investing in the things that will grow our economic base in Oakland. So we want our policymakers to be very strategic about where they're investing their resources.
Major factors slowing Oakland's growth, according to the report, include employment recovery still below pre-pandemic levels, extended remote work contributing to the lack of downtown business, a lengthy permitting process, and sales tax revenue more than 20% below pre-pandemic numbers, with a lack of
so some key things to start to notice. There's going to be a focus on this podcast on small business. I mean, I run a small business here in Berkeley now, and I just want to highlight that the main people suffering from this entire crisis in the Bay Area specifically is small businesses. They got it the worst. And you can see here in this report, the Oakland is not doing anything for small businesses. The homelessness crisis is out of control. People are working from home, and that's affecting small businesses in the area, you know? And so let's just watch this.
Big box retailers and city limits. Adam Fowler wrote the report.
A lot of challenges kind of keeping up, and so a lot of that I think is tied to perceptions of public safety on the street, on the ground.
The report found tourism is declining amid a lack of business and recreation, along with a growing number of hotels closing. However, despite those challenges, Fowler believes Oakland can still be an economic driver. Councilmember Ken Houston stresses that success comes back to making public safety a priority despite the city's budget deficit.
People will visit your hotels, people will buy, people will open up businesses. That's all they said right there is public safety, and that's my main stance.
The good news, Oakland remains a place of resilience.
Yeah, all these work from home people, man, it's kind of crazy. They're just like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to cross the bridge every day. And they're just like totally fucking up the entire local economy because nobody's buying. Everyone's just buying shit on Amazon and door dashing. The migrants are having hella work, though. These fools are out here every day on their e-bikes and their e-scooters delivering shit for everyone that is too lazy to go get lunch. You know what I mean? And those companies are just robbing small restaurants, man. Like, there's plenty of small restaurants out there that are just getting robbed by, like, DoorDash and Instacart and all these fucking things, you know? So that, again, it's just, like, really annoying stuff. But so that's Oakland for you. That's a little bit of taste of what we're going to be looking at today. I got all these Tesla dealership stuff. So we'll come back to that. Take a look at this. This is hilarious.
In the South Bay, local leaders say they're making a new push to address what they're calling van lording.
Yeah, they say people are illegally renting substandard RVs to the unhoused, letting them live in poor conditions.
Yeah, we've got more now on the proposal leaders hope can help build a better Bay Area.
We walk and come and get some water.
Juanita Macias and her husband live in one of the dozens of RVs seen in this area in San Jose. Theirs isn't one of the ones connected to this water source, so they come to it and carry water back to their RV. Today, she owns an RV. Before that, she was renting one for $500 every month. Monthly rent that didn't include the most basic features.
There was no electricity, no water.
She wasn't alone. She says many of her neighbors are still renting RVs like that, owned by landlords who charge even higher prices.
Charging like $1,800.
Calling them van lords, San Jose.
You know she made that fucking 1,800. Like, no, get your ass out of here with that fucking number. But $500, that's believable. These fools are buying up these fucking RVs, and yo, this is some crazy ass behavior. This is like, yo.
City Council member Bien Doan says he and other council members have been briefed by San Jose police about the problem. PD says there are at least 2 known individuals who have been renting around 15 to 20 RVs that are nearly unlivable to people who are unhoused.
These bad actors going out there and towing these dilapidated, unregistered, unsafe RVs or vans or even trailers, and then renting it out illegally.
Doan, along with the mayor and 2 other council members, say they're proposing a crackdown.
That's crazy. They're renting out the sidewalk. They're like, hey, put your RV right here. That's $500. Like, that's a crazy hustle. Like, I would have never thought. And then what they call them? Van lords? That's hilarious. This is the Bay Area for you. This is what's going on. Another small business attack. Check this out. This is over in San Francisco. This is also today.
In San Francisco, some West Side residents are throwing one last Hail Mary, all in an effort to prevent the Great Highway from becoming a permanent park. The highway is just days away from closing to cars for good. Our Katie Nielsen is live in the Sunset District, where the issue is pitting neighbor against neighbor. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, those neighbors now asking the courts to actually step in. Now, this all started back in November when about 55% of San Francisco voters approved Prop K, which would close the Great Highway to traffic and would create a permanent...
Yo, as she's talking about the fucking Great Highway closing the traffic, this fool in looks like a Dodge Charger or something just grinding behind her. That's the funniest thing.
Park. But now one group of neighbors is actually suing the city, saying Prop K was not legal.
I get worried about safety. I mean, when the upper highway, Great Highway is closed, traffic flows into the neighborhoods.
Matt Bichetto's family has lived on the west side for 5 generations, and he's also a small business owner. That's why he decided to get into the fight over the planned park, literally, on the Great Highway.
San Francisco is the most democratic city in the United States. It used to be a city about people power. It used to be a city that had very, very inclusive processes, and this is the absolute opposite.
Matt is helping lead Livable SF, the group that helps.
Yo, and again, same pattern. Small business owner, loss of revenue, loss of traffic that flows through there. A lot of people drive from the southern area, like from the SFSU area through Lake Merced, all up through Highway 1 to get there, from Pacifica, from Daly City. So all of that traffic from people coming out and hanging out in SF and hanging out in the outer Sunset area, they're going to lose it, and these people are not thinking about the economic impact. They're just thinking, well, cars and gas and pollution and the beach and and shit like this. Like it's really cooked behavior. Again, same pattern. It's all the kind of the same pattern of it targeting small businesses. And it gets crazier. It gets even crazier than this.
We're learning more about a wild shootout that may be connected to the federal corruption case involving former Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao and others.
And I covered that in the last podcast. Mayor Sheng Tao got grabbed up by the feds.
We're hearing from the man
and now,
and a neighbor who saw it all
they're
happen.
blasting.
New at 6, ABC 7 News I-Team reporter Dan Noyes is here with the story. Dan.
Well, Dan and Ama, Mario Juarez is in a difficult place. He can't speak out because he could be a witness in that federal corruption case against former Mayor Sheng Tao and others. Still, he wants to know why police arrested 2 suspects in December for the shooting at his home, but released them without warning him.
You can still see a bullet hole in the rain gutter at Mario Juarez's house in the Fruitvale neighborhood, 9 months after the shootout.
And then it stopped there and it shot like 2 times.
Sheila Campos lives across the street. She tells me she was headed to work after 9 p.m. when she saw a car drive by 3 times, firing at Juarez's house and Suburban. On the last pass, Mario Juarez came outside with his .40 caliber Glock.
And he started shooting back, like firing back, pa, 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 pa. And the car just kind of skeeted off, but kind of fast. And he was in the middle of the street.
Some Oakland antics right here.
To get him.
I've been speaking to Mario Juarez by an encrypted phone app. He tells me he can't be in
wow.
Oakland right now because he still fears for his life.
He sent a written statement first reported by the San Francisco Chronicle that says 2 suspects were nabbed in December 2024 tied to these attacks, but justice, it never came. Oakland police made the arrests, but the DA's office, just days after Pamela Price left office because of the recall, allowed the suspects to walk without charges and without informing Juarez that the men who may have shot at him were back on
no
the
charges.
streets.
It's an issue of safety, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely an issue of safety.
Ernie Castillo is Mario Juarez's attorney.
When you have people come into your house and you get into a shootout and people shoot at you, that's a huge concern. So we should have been notified by that former administration 100%.
Mario Juarez recently had a fraud case against him dropped. He was accused of bouncing checks for a mailer that supported Sheng Tao in her race for mayor. As part of that case, Juarez accused then District Attorney Pamela Price of demanding $25,000 from him to help her recall, saying when he refused, she filed the criminal case against him.
In that motion were
Yo!
Witnesses, including Mario Juarez.
You can't make that up. That's crazy.
The administration had tried to shake down Mario for $25,000, and if he had not contributed to that campaign for $25,000, then they would charge him.
Through her attorneys, Price denied asking Juarez for money. Back to the shooting in June, neighbors confirmed to me that
That's crazy. So the mayor is corrupt. This dude exposes some mail check fraud stuff that she's being indicted for by the feds. Then Pamela Price is in her pocket. She's the reason why all these goons were getting let go. Thank God we recalled both of these fucking goons. But they send a guy out to go and smoke this dude. Like, they literally went ba 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 ba. They went out with the blammer and just like, yo, that's craziness. That's literally like bro, our local governments are just falling apart, bro. Like, somebody needs to get in here and clean sweep this entire thing. There's government official shootouts. Whole stadiums are trying to get sold out from under the city. The city is bankrupt. It's crazy. It's real crazy. And speaking of, we're finally to the meat of the of the podcast. Those are just warm-ups. I want to talk about this. And there isn't any videos on this kind of stuff because Berkeley is doing a really good job of suppressing this information. But people like Emily Raguso of the Berkeley Scanner is at least one person writing about this. And this is, again, directly tied to the homelessness crisis in Berkeley. The protest that I went to, protesting against the corrupt organization, Where Do We Go Berkeley, where people attacked me and it was craziness. Just watch the video. It's crazy. But yes, as a recap, there's basically a bum camp that's like right there next to the like literally across the street from the high school. And the high school kids are just there, walking through there, ditching school, hanging out with the crackheads, like smoking weed outside with them and shit. And at the same time, probably other stuff. The other day, I was riding my bike late as hell at night through the camp. I was just riding through the camp, and I rode through Ohlone Park. I rode through this whole area, and I literally saw teenagers, like what looked like a 17-year-old girl, 18-year-old girl, like just teenage, like little white girls in the tents with like 50-year-old crackheads. Like, and this is real. Like I took pictures of that shit. Like, that shit's crazy. And this is happening, and no one has stopped it. I was the only counter protester. The rest of the city is like defending this, and the mayor is defending it, and all the council members are defending. It's yo, Berkeley is tweaking, my guy, tweaking. But anyways, let's read this. UC Berkeley warns public about sexual battery of student. The suspect was described as tan-skinned with gray hair, about 60 years old, wearing blue pants, aka a bum, a motherfucking crackhead. Come on, man. UC Berkeley police are seeking tips and information about a sexual battery on the north side of campus. A UC Berkeley student reported that a man tried to grab her chest outside Corey Hall, which is located at Hearst Avenue and Gailey Road at 3:30 p.m. So in like broad daylight type of shit. Police say the suspect was wearing what appeared to be a white Cal affiliate labeled shirt with blue pants. He was described as a tan skin with a blah, 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 whatever. So some dude tried to accost this girl, right? So let's move on to the next one. In the last podcast, I read an article about a man who was picked up for CP near this park at City Hall. Well, the same guy got grabbed again. Man picks up a new CP case right after making a deal in the old one. Isaiah Temple was arrested in Berkeley the day after taking a plea deal in his last Berkeley case involving CP material. A man who had just agreed to a plea deal in his last CP case is already facing new charges after Berkeley police found him with more than 600 explicit images, court papers show. Some of the new CP material depicted minors under 12. And this is the goon right here. Let's see if we can zoom into that image real quick. Check this dude out. Yo, that's a crackhead if I ever saw one. So, Berkeley police initially arrested this dude with no address. It's clearly that they're so tough trying to avoid saying unhoused individual or homeless individual or crackhead or bum, or like they won't say these things. They say no address at the 200 block of McKinley Avenue, which is right by the park. Police wrote that Temple had been loitering, banging on doors, peering into vehicles. Someone saw him pull his pants down on private property. They detained him in which case, after detainment, they found a cell phone, a tablet, and a flash drive. They searched it. They found all types of stuff. They found him down the block from an elementary school. They gave him a 100-yard stay away order. That's it. That's all they gave him. They let this fool go, and then they just get like, oh, just stay 100 yards away from schools. And that's all they did to this guy. So then after this, they say they found CP on a Kik messaging app. And in his description, he writes, "I am a creepy old man who wants a submissive child slave for my pleasure." This fool is wildin'. And, you know, anyways, they grab him again on Tuesday, this Tuesday, so yesterday, and they charged him with 2 possession of CP. Both are felonies, and then they just let him go. And then they just let the dude go. Yeah, I'm not even lying. They just let they let him go. I don't even know what to do with this information. This is too reckless from the city. Like, somebody needs to stop these people immediately. Like, the kids are actually in danger now. I'm surprised nobody's not doing anything about this. You know, that's one. Another one. Check this out. Berkeley side. Typically these guys are always in favor of supporting the homelessness crisis at the cost of the economy and everybody else. So let's read what they have to say. What's happening at Civic Center Park? We spoke to Berkeley High students and campers. Berkeley says the downtown homeless encampment may be next for closure after student safety has become a hot button issue. Really a hot button issue. You wouldn't say, I want to go protest, and those motherfuckers try to grab me. So of course it's a hot button issue. Berkeley high school students use Civic Center Park as a place to have lunch. People who camp there have been forced onto a smaller side of the patch of land. Oh, I'm sorry. The students are in the way of the homeless encampment. The people who camped there had to move to a smaller patch of land, just off to the side over there. They can't get the prime real estate that the students want to use for lunch. Yo, who writes this shit? Yo, this is crazy. Or more specifically, the people living and visiting there, it has been on their minds and many in Berkeley High School and downtown communities after a student was groped there while walking to school on January 29th. And of course, there was a meeting at the city hall, which I couldn't make it to, which the Where Do We Go Berkeley goons were there, and everybody who supports all this, who gets paid all types of NGO corrupt money to support this behavior. Those people were all there. And they said that whole meeting was summarized with, we'll keep our eye on it. That's basically all they said they're going to do. They're not going to do shit. Anyways, the 40-year-old man was arrested, right? And then he was rearrested March 3rd for violating a court order to stay away from the park and the school. But everyone else says he is not a park resident, according to city officials and advocates for homeless Berkeleyans. So the guy gets arrested there once. They tell him to stay away. They give him a stay away order. They arrest him again for being in the exact same place at the camp. And they're just gonna say he doesn't live there, even though he's been arrested twice there and he's accosted several people there already. He just doesn't live there. There's no evidence to point to the fact that he lives there. And they're gonna really run with that. They really are. Advocates for homeless Berkeleyans are gonna run with that. They're tweaking. Anyways, this dude got arrested again and again and again, and they just keep releasing him no matter how many girls he accosts. It's insanity. Anyways, here the thing goes, oh, look, they got a picture of the meeting. They had a town hall style meeting. The meeting was informal and with concerned parents, Mayor Adena Ishii, city workers, Berkeley's unhoused residents, blah, blah, blah. There was a whole lot of advocacy for this kind of stuff. Here, students smoking and naked people. Beatrice Rise, a senior at Berkeley High, says she often used to eat lunch on the grass near the playground at Civic Center Park across from the school, but that has become overrun with tents after city officials fenced off much of the area. I can't really eat over there anymore, she says. All the benches are full, and every time I walk past, I get harassed or talked at, she said Wednesday, looking over her shoulder towards the park. And here you can see all the kids eating lunch and shit outside. They're forced to sit on this little grassy knoll area instead of like the actual park, you know, because crackheads took it over. You cannot make this shit up. And they're blaming it on the closure of People's Park as well, because, you know, there was a lot of weirdness going on at that park, and they recently closed it because the university wants to do a development there, and so that's also happening. And anyways, yeah, so they interview some tweakers, and they're like, "Oh, how's it like tweaking on the street? Don't ask the kids for milk money." But if you guys want to read it, go on berkeleyside.org. It's a really weird article. It's kind of like borderline like advocating, but at the same time not. It's weird. They have a lot of pictures though of the actual camp that I've passed by many times. Here's a crazy picture of like the kids in the camp with the crackheads just chilling and shit. Let students be students. Guyton, a former Berkeley High student who has been unhoused since 2019, says he's done what he can to convince his neighbors to let students be students, and that he's taken it upon himself to become a volunteer security person for the camp. He has a couch set up with a tent, and he uses it as an office to create a safe space for people to come. So this dude's creating safe spaces for the kids to go into his tent, and yo, and they just like, oh my God. And you know what's crazy? I haven't seen the man who accosted the girl, Audrey Barlow, personally, but if I see that fool, swear to God, I'm gonna interview that fool. I'm gonna buy him like a 40 ounce to like tell me the tea on like everything he's done, and just like straight up, I'm gonna be like, nah, tell me the truth, homie. Like just I'll give you this beer, I'll give you this weed, and just tell me the truth. And I bet you he might just go on a crazy confession, you know. But I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna get him to admit that he lives in the fucking camp, because he does. And in that case, they're gonna have to do something, you know. But anyways, that's kind of a little bit of a summary of the situation, how it's evolved. And you know, there's a lot of like bigger political stuff happening as well. And it's kind of affecting, surprisingly, the Trump, Elon Musk, all of that shit is also kind of zeroing in and affecting local politics. It's really interesting to see that actually take effect, which I'm very grateful for. Here, there's another one. Homeless housing shooter had narco tunnel under floor. Berkeley police say David Meyer, who is prohibited from owning guns due to his criminal record, had guns and meth in his room. 2 men are facing serious criminal charges after a shooting inside a supportive housing complex located at the former Berkeley Motel, court papers show. The police investigation began February 9th after security guards at University Avenue, the roadway inn, heard 2 men screaming following a gunshot. Then they went in there and they found a fucking hole in the wall, and the victim escaped unharmed through a hole in the wall. And they were like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this hole in the wall? So then they went into the hole and they found what appeared to be damage from a shotgun, and they discovered what they described in court papers as a tunnel under a wooden plank leading to a crawl space beneath the floor that led to all the other units in the motel. And police also found a sign with the phrase David's Narco Tunnel. So this would put up a sign and said, "This is my narco tunnel, homies. Don't be fucking around. This is my tunnel, dog." And these fools are just straight smoking, just like building tunnels. And look at these fools have no necks. What the fuck? The fuck is going on here, man? And these people who have guns, who are building tunnels under hotels, who are getting arrested for shooting in the hotel, who have been found with an AR-15 rifle and a shotgun and a silencer and high-capacity magazines and methamphetamine, and are fully tatted up all up in the face, which means that they're definitely like, you know, prison tattoos because they're fucking terrible tattoos. These guys are just let out. They're just like, they're just arrested and then they're just released. Who's getting arrested anymore? Except for, like, the only motherfucker out here getting detained is me. That's crazy. Do they even show up to court? Like, what the fuck is going on here? A convicted felon with multiple no bail warrants. That's what these fools are. And, you know, this is like right down the street right here too, you know? And this is the kind of shit that the city just wants to allow. And they created this situation. Literally, the mayor created this situation. She put them there. She took this hotel and converted it into a tweaker motel. And that's what the fuck is this? It's a Smokerville now, you know? It's crazy. Again, another one. Berkeley High sexual battery suspect facing new charges. Audrey Barlow, the original guy, right? He was arrested again recently, and they released him again on his own recognizance. It's amazing. The Alameda County DA didn't charge him for shit. They gave him another stay away order. And you cannot make it up. It's right there. Let's keep going. Let's see what else happened this week. We're not talking about like, this is like now. Here it is, look. An intruder with his pants down pushed his way into the bedroom of a Cal student on Wednesday, then cornered her and put his arms around her before being arrested, authorities report. And I put, intruder is a clever way to disguise the high probability that this was an unhoused individual. And these fools are just straight up just like, intruder. You know, it reminds me of like Afghanistan and like George Bush Jr. when he used to say, what did he used to say? Fucking, they had a word, insurgents. Oh yeah, that's the word. Oh, the insurgents. And that's how they described people they murdered in Iraq. You know, they called them insurgents. That's what they're doing here. They're like, they'll say anything except for unhoused individual or crackhead or bum or tweaker. In fact, every time I say it, those haters are gonna watch this podcast and they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna freak out when they watch it. And every time I say it, they're like, how could he? He doesn't know. What the fuck, homie? I grew up around all this shit. I know exactly what the fuck's going on here. It's y'all who don't know shit. Straight up. And, you know, as an example, we'll play a little clip from LA. Here is crackheads lighting shit on fire
that firefighters have to respond to. Within 2 blocks of my apartment, instantaneously, I could see multiple past homeless fires. You can see these burns here going right up to apartments and houses with people living in them. Some with the unhoused still living next to the burns. There's multiple firefighters that told me they deal with this
Thank you for the subscribe.
every single day. Something like this, under the right conditions, could get out of control really quick. During the LA fires, you probably saw the footage of the illegal immigrant in Woodland Hills with a blowtorch who neighbors said allegedly was trying to start a fire. Obviously.
Yo, I want to show you guys the citizen thing. I didn't prepare it, so I can't go into my iPhoto like on screen because you're gonna just see all my pictures. But fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. I don't give a fuck. But check this out. This is interesting. Just right now, flames at People's Park. And it's raining. How the fuck is there flames when it's raining? Woman with metal stick breaking car windows right now. Debris fire at Ohlone Park. Report of debris fire on Hearst and MLK, which is where the camp is. What else? So, like, there's more. Hold on. Person assaulted during attempted pickpocketing. This is also on the same street right here. Man acting erratically, punching air at Nation's Hamburgers, which is right over there. Man attempting to break car window inside of a garage. Woman threw hot coffee at 7-Eleven employees, which is just down the street. Man chasing people attempting to hit them. And it just keeps going and going. I got a bunch of that shit for days. It's crazy. And in LA, you can see that the majority of the fires are started by homeless people. I think the firefighters are reporting, in LA at least, that something like 70% of all the fires are started by homeless people. That's a fact. You know, and it is what it is. So where do we go, Berkeley? On my last podcast, I talked heavily on them. Andrea Henson and these whack-ass goons. And so here they are at Ohlone Park, and they are wanting to expand. They're saying they want to bring this to the Supreme Court in this article here, and they're wanting to start a revolution of some kind where they can just spread homelessness across the state and just let it exist, without any breaks or any arrests or anything or any cleaning up of the camps. And we just got to let them do what they do. So they're still at it. They haven't slowed down one bit. I've been trying to figure out how they can be stopped. And I think taking away their funding is one way. I think maybe legally, but this bitch is a lawyer, so it's kind of hard, but maybe suing them in small claims, suing the NGO for damages. That might be something I might be interested in doing. There's a lot of stuff that that could be done in regards to that. But yes, homelessness camps. Check this one's funny. Homelessness encampment added as a business on Google. These fools went and registered their shit, and they got 4.2 star reviews as a storage facility. Oh shit! Imagine trying to store your shit there. Your shit will be on whatever you store there. That shit gone. Won't last no fucking time at all. Yeah, in San Francisco, they've been cracking down heavily. Dozens of drug dealers arrested in overnight raid at Jefferson Park. So they've been raiding them there heavily. Just been taking them down. Yes, more and more arrests. People trying to. Oh my god! So I guess we could talk about one of the other things that has happened here, which is I haven't personally been to one of the Tesla protests, but I want to go to. Oh, check this out. This is the original guy. The first time he got arrested for having CP in an RV. Another homeless individual with CP in an RV. Oh, this has got a paywall. Never mind. But yes, you get the point. Bay Area bus reveals 14,000 hours of suspected CP in an RV. And they're, again, very clever. They don't say unhoused individual. You know, they just won't say that. Yeah, so this is, some of this happening. Then Ishi posted on Instagram. Let's see what she says.
Have you ever wondered why there are so many homeless people living on the streets of Berkeley?
I wonder why.
Learn more about our current systems and the gaps that exist. And as part of my run for mayor of Berkeley, I've been shadowing the homeless action centers, homeless outreach teams in Berkeley and Oakland. HACK is a nonprofit that provides a high-quality public benefits advocacy for free to unhoused and disabled residents of Alameda County. HACK's outreach team provides survival supplies, assists their clients with accessing benefits, and supports them in accessing housing. I've learned that it's a common misconception that people want to live outside. Most of the time, that's just not true. It's nearly impossible to access housing. And as a city, we often have this attitude that people should just take what they're given. Our shelters have strict rules. Sometimes people can't bring their pets, and many shelters don't allow children.
Yeah, so a bunch of excuses. She sucks. But it turns out they're getting grabbed up too.
What is she being arrested for? What is she being arrested for?
Guys, space, please. Space, please.
So they're grabbing them up too, for advocating. Let's check this guy's out.
A big sweep in San Jose for days now. The city has been in a blitz to clear homeless encampments. And in fact, nearby homeowners have called NBC Bay Area right here to ask about those sweeps, wondering, is it a one-time thing or will it be a consistent solution? NBC Bay Area's Robert Honda joins us now from San Jose with the answer city to that.
This corner days. Those in the encampment were given a posted notice saying they had to clear out by today and warning that if they recamp, the personal property will be removed without further notice.
It'll keep you warm. I promise.
And so look, they're sweeping them out everywhere. Like this is San Jose, in the city they're sweeping them up, and up north in Fremont, they're banning all of the RVs. So it's happening everywhere. And like I said, the Trump policies are actually affecting the area, and it's interesting to see how that works. But yes, so speaking of Trump, we can focus a little bit on the homelessness crisis. I thought this video was very, very interesting. This guy on YouTube,
here's another shop that has gone to the
Metal Leo. This fool's sick. I'll play a little clip of his and just so you get an idea.
Good morning, Berkeley. Boars. This is not looking good. This Hans Bistro over here, also gone. Hans Bistro, as good as gone. Look at this place.
Check that out. That's crazy.
Not open. They start tagging it and vandalizing it. Right over here. This place here says that it's coming soon, but it's right here by the university. And you can see right here, there are some places just closed.
Everything's closed. Everything's closed.
They don't open on Wednesdays.
Look how many vacant spaces there are.
Starting up. A very large,
and nobody's reporting on this. People are reporting on the Jack London Square in Oakland. That whole place is going bankrupt. People are reporting on SF not having any business, but nobody's really reporting on the Berkeley area. And like all the retail space is getting destroyed. Like nobody can survive here to do business. Everything is closed. Even the hipster stores like the Anachronistic Media Place and even all those places are gone. All the music places are taking the theater. The UC Theater is closing. And this guy just walks up and down the avenue on this is Telegraph, and he just shows how everything is closed. And so if you guys want to watch that, Metal Leo, go check that dude out. He made a few videos on Berkeley just showing that in the past year, everything is closing. And I can say that, I mean, we're on one of the main streets here, and everything is closing around us. It's just what it is. A few businesses have opened up here and there, but not too many, And it is what it is. Newsom is asking for $40 billion from the federal government to recover from the fires. I don't think he's going to get it. I hope he gets impeached, man. I'm tired of seeing Newsom's face on all types of stuff. Yeah, so all of this happened. The Trump the anti-Tesla dealership protests then started growing in size and started becoming a whole thing. And there's all these organizations. Indivisible is one of them. There's a dude here in Berkeley. His name is Andrew Lazarus. He's like an old ass goon, and he has these meetings in his house with people, and they talk about how they're going to destroy Trump there and like do weird stuff. Like, people here are like literally like they act insane. When they see a Tesla, they're like, oh, like it's crazy. I don't even drive a Tesla, but I feel bad for people who do, and so, yeah, there's a whole lot of Nazis, no kings protests. Here, check out one of these.
This President's Day, thousands of people across the nation demonstrated against President Donald Trump and what's being called the No Kings on President's Day demonstration.
ABC 7 News political report.
It's all old ass people.
From San Francisco to Oakland. From San Jose. We are in the middle of a constitution. Their viewpoints.
Yeah, but one of the funny things about this organization, Indivisible, that I was looking into, is that they are super PAC money. Like, they're getting paid by people in government, the opposition to Trump, to go and put up these protests. This isn't like happening without any funds. Like, go look up Indivisible and look at their funding, and you'll see their money comes straight from government. It's kind of ridiculous, you know? And again, I post a lot of crimes here. I'll read some of them. Smash and grab robberies are on the rise. They've just been smashing cars into everything in the area. Another man was charged in UC Berkeley for a SA assault case. That was an unhoused individual. And it just keeps going and going. I've got links here for days, but I'm going to go ahead and just skip right to the Tesla stuff because I guess it's about time. Here they are on 4th Street here, down the street, keeping it in Berkeley. These protests are happening all over the place, but the Tesla here, they've thrown paint at it. They've vandalized a lot of the Teslas in the area here in Berkeley. I got a whole bunch of pictures of them doing that. And literally every single Saturday they have a protest here. Like this coming Saturday, I'm gonna ride my bike down there and fuck with them, but and play really loud ass music and fuck with their protests. But every fucking Saturday they're there. They got nothing better to do. And they've been putting up signs calling Elon a Nazi and stuff and all this stuff. It's kind of weird though. Like, is he a Nazi? Is he a Zionist? How could he be a Nazi and a Zionist at the same time? I don't know. These fools are wildin'. So I'll show you some of the newer, some stuff that happened recently on the Tesla protest front, which was very interesting. And this is a little further out, not local politics
Now out
per
of
se.
Loveland, where an arrest has been made in connection with vandalism at a Tesla dealership. Earlier this month, we showed you that damage. Well, now Lucy Grace Nelson faces charges. Police say they arrested her this week after she went back to the dealership and was found with incendiary devices. She was captured before any new.
This fool, you're going to tell me, here, I want to delete myself real quick. Oh, fuck. These fools are playing games. And this person committed a straight up terrorist act. They placed explosives on vehicles, and we're supposed to think this is normal. Yo, these people are cooking themselves. Like, at this point, they think that they're like doing some kind of like advocacy and change, and they're gonna like affect like the Tesla stock market and this. Yo, you guys are just embarrassing yourselves to the point where the whole world is laughing at you. And thank you for doing this. It's really amazing.
Damage could take place.
It's really something else. And there's a lot of those. Here's another one.
Get to tonight. We start here at 9 o'clock with a person suspected of planting an explosive devices on cars at a Tesla dealership in Loveland.
Tonight, they are being charged with possession of explosive devices and vandalism. Fox 31's Rachel Sauer joins us live in Loveland with the latest on this case. Rachel?
Yeah, Matt and Christine. Well, Loveland police tell us it goes beyond just the dealership and damage to property. They say if they hadn't caught the suspect in time, it could have been much worse. Starting January 29th, Loveland police say they began investigating incidents involving this Tesla dealership. On February 7th, police reported there was an arson attempt, plus acts of vandalism, including graffiti on some of the vehicles deemed offensive and hateful in nature.
February 24th, Monday evening, we were working surveillance where we then encountered the defendant.
The suspect, identified as 40-year-old Lucy Grace Nelson, was stopped before committing what would have been considered a Class 3 felony.
Due to our officers being able to intervene, the act.
Yeah. And then in Portland, it looks like they did the same thing.
In Salem, a man is facing federal charges after investigators connected him to 2 separate incidents at a Tesla dealership. Police say he threw Molotov cocktails and shot up the building. This comes amid dozens of reports of vandalism involving Teslas across the country. Fox 12's Les
raises the question, are Teslas being targeted?
I definitely go around my car probably every time that I get back into my car in fear of like somebody scratching it or slashing my tires just because it's a Tesla.
Alex Lopez says he bought his Tesla 5 months ago, but it wasn't until recently that he's noticed an aversion against Tesla drivers close to home. A man was arraigned Wednesday after police linked him to 2 separate incidents at the Salem Tesla Center. Police say surveillance images from the dealership shows Adam Matthew Lansky throwing Molotov cocktails at the dealership, sparking fires. In a separate incident, police alleged that Lansky fired several rounds into the dealership and at least 1 vehicle.
And driving a Tesla went from, a cool
That's
thing
crazy.
to not a cool thing pretty quickly.
This amidst a string of anti-Tesla vandalism reports across the country. Colorado police report that several vehicles...
But they're not gonna call it terrorism. This dude took a gun to a Tesla dealership and shot the fucking place up. Like, this type of deranged behavior, they're not calling it what it is, it's fucking deranged behavior. Another one, Tesla dealership explosives, and it just keeps going. And here in the Bay Area, I have them. I should have prepared this better for today, but I guess I can go in here and pull up some of them. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. But there are some crazy deranged Elon Musk hate kind of stuff happening here too, where they're attacking, like, on social media. All I see is stuff like this, like knives to the Teslas and like really deranged stuff. I've seen evidence of like attacks on Teslas, like say for example this one here, which was here in Berkeley. They wrote Nazi on somebody's car. They've been putting these stickers up. When you ride with Tesla, you ride with Hitler, right? They've been putting up posters of Elon Musk doing the, Nazi salute. They've been doing this shit to everybody's cars. They've been putting them all around town. Sell your swastika car. And it's just been going on and on and on. There have been these bumper stickers that people are putting everywhere. Like, check, this is a bumper sticker owner guide. Year of vehicle purchase. I bought this before I knew Elon was crazy. If you bought it in 2023, I bought this before I knew Elon was a Nazi. And if you bought it after 2023, sorry, I have no excuse. Yell at me. So that's how these people see it. And this was here in Berkeley. That's where they have all this stuff. And they've been having these protests here. They've been getting away with murder. These people need to be stopped immediately. They've been doing insane ass shit. They've been posting like weird stuff like this on the internet of like wishing death on people and like just crazy deranged behavior. I'm telling you, somebody need to put a stop to this, I'm happy to go out there and troll. Here's another one. Don't kid yourself. It's up to you. And then this was on 4th Street as well. This was their flyer. They burned a mock like Tesla there as well. They didn't burn an actual Tesla. Here's another one. A Tesla ticket. They've been giving people Tesla tickets. You can't make this shit up. Like, who? Like, why? Who? How's this happening? Who's even this motivated? Oh my God, I went in next door and had a whole nother escapade. I think I'll save that for a whole nother podcast all on its own. But yeah, I infiltrated a few organizations and really did some high level trolling all over the social media. Yeah, the Tesla protests have been going off. People have been conservative media has been kind of infiltrating a lot of these protests and going to troll people. That's been happening as well. Here, PhD grad living in Bay Area admits to firebombing UC Berkeley police car. Oh my God. Then there's the RevComs. Oh my God. There's these weird revolutionary communists here in Berkeley. It's a weird some dude named Ryback, and like I have a whole short video coming for that too. Yeah, so much interesting stuff. Here, fatal stabbings. It just keeps going and going. I think I'm gonna call it on this podcast. I've been going for a little while now. But yes, there's been a lot of information. Stay tuned. I think my next podcast is going to be less politically motivated and stuff like this, and it's going to be more focused around other things. I have so many more links to show you guys here, but I just, it's too much. It's just way too much. And it's not funny. It's not fun anymore, It's just like ludicrous kind of stuff. Like, so I want to kind of put an end to this kind of stuff. And low-key, I even feel like moving out of Berkeley. I'm kind of like annoyed by the people here, to keep it 100. It's these people are kind of annoying. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about the political climate, what you think about small businesses, what you think about the crime, the robbery. Nobody gets arrested except for good people, and in the homelessness crisis, vacant for lease buildings, the money, people staying at home, nobody's interacting. When they do come out to interact, they're like weird Tesla protests, and they're doing weird stuff like this, and they think they could get away with this. They think they could literally bully anyone they want. Fuck all that shit. It's their time is up. You know what I mean? Their time is up. It's so this time, I'm gonna just keep being loud the way I am. I ain't gonna stop anytime soon. That's the way it goes. Hey, I forgot about my noises. I should be using them more. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll bring in some new podcasts. I got a lot of new projects coming out. I'll be DJing in the area as well. And I just got this whole drum set stuff that I'm working on. So stay tuned. About to have a bunch of cool stuff. But yes, I'll see y'all on the next one.
Thank you.